Yeah, this is part 2.
Yes.
Sort of our series. We used to, in fact, I sort of alluded to it in the post that we used to, it was like one big show. We'd whittle down our favorites. It'd go up against the one from last year. So we've modified it a little bit. We're still enjoying, or trying for, hopefully enjoying
there we go.
Over the course of a few podcasts. But this is the second installment of this year's Pumpkin Beer Fest.
Yeah, I actually tried to find a couple of our previous year's favorites, and when I found these, I was honestly shocked. I didn't think there was any more that we could possibly find that we wanted to even try, because we have tried so many. You can go in the archives at AboutBeverages.com or check out our YouTube page and see all of those previous videos that we have done for the pumpkin beers. But I actually did find 2 more that we had not done anything on. They sounded very interesting, so we brought those to the show, and I wanted to bring the Dogfish Pumpkin, which in previous years was one of our favorites, or the Pugsley's Smashed Pumpkin from Shipyard Brewing. Could not find either of them. They were sold out. So unfortunately, the word has gotten out that those are 2 of the best pumpkin beers around, and at least most consistent when it comes to quality. So we don't have those, but what we do have is a pumpkin porter and a barrel-aged pumpkin beer for this Give It a Shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith, and we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverages that we're about today are the pumpkin porter from Four Peaks Brewing and the Clown Shoes Gordo, which is an Imperial pumpkin stout aged in Whistle Pig whiskey barrels.
Yeah. And actually, before we go any further...
Don't go any further.
I'm
stopping.
Something doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right?
Something doesn't feel right. I think we need a little...
there
we
of
go.
course. Oh, you set that up just perfectly there. There we are.
I feel better now. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Go on with the pumpkin.
No, that was
amazing again, I don't know if this will live up to the words that are written on the Clown Shoes one, but this is the one I am very much excited about. It also is, it is at a premium. The pumpkin, the Clown Shoes that we're about to have, the Clown Shoes, it is a 19-ounce can. It's the only way you can get it unless you get it on tap.
Okay.
It was $11.
Okay.
So it is not a cheap pumpkin beer, but
No.
I have a feeling it could be delicious, but we will find out. There could be just a lot of words there that then don't equate to the flavor. We'll find that out. But we're going to start with the porter first.
The porter.
So yeah, if you want to hand me
In
that.
theory, the lighter of the two should be. Pumpkin porter. Once again, and I always say this all the time, but when I think of pumpkin porter, I think my favorite is one that unfortunately is not available to other people, but I still have to bring it up because you and Jay make, as far as I'm concerned, the best. So that's the standard. That's
I'm not
going to
lie, it's very good.
That's the
gold
gold standard.
It is quite delicious. It is
someday maybe it'll be available for everyone.
Nationwide, who knows?
For now, we're going to try to find a reasonable stand-in.
Yeah, this one used to be one that I know a lot of people that, like I said, this is obviously Four Peaks. They're in southern Arizona. Well, they're in Phoenix, so they're a little slightly northern Arizona. I don't know. They're in Arizona.
Central.
Central-ish. Yeah, north central, but never at dusk. They're in kind of that area of Arizona. But this used to be one that I know a lot of people used to really like. It was kind of like that was the pumpkin beer everyone thought of when they thought of a pumpkin beer. So I'm excited to have this one because I know I've had it, but it has been a very long time to be sure.
And I don't even know if I have. So looking forward to it.
Yeah. This one is nowhere near as expensive. I think the 6-pack probably runs only like $9 or $10 compared to, like I said, one can of the other being that. So,
right.
Like I said, definitely much more economical in that regard. Fairly kind of like a brewed tea kind of
brewed tea, or I was going to say a Coke or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of see through it a little bit as you bring it up to your nose there.
Yeah, I've definitely seen it darker porters than this for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Aroma time then. Also, a quick thing to mention: this one's about 5% alcohol, so it's kind of also in that sessionable range. Like nothing, like I said, nothing too crazy when it comes to that. What do you think of the aroma? I
am getting so. The first thing I actually smelled was bananas, as weird as that sounds, but that's probably the squash, and it's probably because the cloves are coming through. So I'm thinking it kind of reminds me of like a German wheat beer.
I think that's actually really on point. I was kind of in that same, like I said, I don't know if I just said bananas, but definitely the clove is coming out, which I can see why that would lead you to that.
It just made me, it had that sort of overall feel to me.
Yeah, I would agree. There's kind of like some little bit lighter, cola notes, brown sugar is kind of in there, not quite molasses. It's not quite that heavy, but it's definitely a lighter side porter for me. Like I said, when I think of porter, I think of something a little bit more malty. But the balance of spices is nice. It's not overwhelming. It's not like, sometimes you can definitely have some like, that smells really fake, or that smells too, just a little funky. But no, I think it's balanced. It's nice.
Okay.
All right.
It's a good start.
As,
Good start to the day.
Definitely a nice start. Like I said, yeah, it's not the flavors aren't overwhelming. I don't think there's a ton of depth here, but there is like actually a nice kind of crust element to it. There's something in there that makes me think of like a pie crust. It's not quite as buttery as we have talked about in some beers that we literally love that were fantastic. But there's something in there that says that to me. Like it's more of like a burnt, like actual pie crust is in there. And then like it's a little bit sweet. Those spices come through a little bit. It's just very, very drinkable and it's pleasant.
Yeah, I agree. I would like a little more body. I'd like a little more maybe roasty. I'd like a little bit of the darker to come through because I think there's enough spice for that to hold up against that. That being said, even without that, the flavor profile isn't overwhelming. It's balanced enough. And yeah, there is a little something in there that does kind of make you think of a crust of some. Yeah, it's not. I know it's not like, I know it's a little specific. Vague, but it is. There is something in there that does lend that element as well.
All right, so pumpkin beer number 2. This one definitely seems like it is going to bring, you would hope, the big and bold to the table. This is the Clown Shoes Gordo Imperial Pumpkin Stout, brewed with spices and aged in Whistle Pig rye whiskey barrels. Like literally every word in that sentence is something I want to try. So I'm very, very interested in that.
Is that a skateboarding lumberjack on there?
There is some tail on here. You can there'll be links down in the description for these beers. You can check it out. The person on here is skateboarding, and there is a whole story about how he is skateboarding and what he's trying to do and avoiding the pumpkins that are trying to come after him or something like that. So you can go read that on their website, check it out. But yeah, we're just going to get into the trying of this beer.
We have podcasted on beers from Clown Shoes before, I think, right? Okay, I know we've had several of them. Yeah.
We've had some disappointing ones.
We've had, but some really good ones too. Yeah. So, but it's been a while.
It's been a while. So, yeah, it definitely has been quite a while since we have had one.
Yeah, but everything about this, like I said, man, maybe I lowered the expectations a bit, but we'll see. It's certainly
no, at this price you need to have the expectations high. I'm sorry.
From expectations all the way to the end.
Yeah,
there needs to be it needs to be there. So.
For $11 or $12 for one can, this needs to deliver.
One big can.
Though. It is 19 ounces. That is true. That is true. Obviously, since this is a stout, this one is darker. It's not quite as dark as I thought it was going to be. I can definitely still see through.
It's a nice head, though. That's a good pour. Thank you. That's a good looking.
You're welcome.
I have to take a picture of that. It's a good pour.
Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer. We'll take video of it, and it'll last forever.
That's right. On YouTube. That's right.
All right. Well, I need to smell this because
yes. No, we've talked about it enough.
Yes.
Roasty.
I'm definitely getting like I said, that lighter fruit of the whiskey barrel is like coming out. Yep. Like I'm definitely getting some of that. A little bit of dark chocolatey thing also playing into that fruit, I would say. I'm getting those kind of two things combined along with the roasty. Again, very balanced, not like, over the top. It's not like it's like, really hitting me in the face with all these flavors, but it's just a very well balanced of all of those things that it talked about. Yeah, I'm getting maybe some very light spices, but the spices
are very light. Yeah, there's that kind of sweet sort of there's that alcohol sweet kind of thing going on in there for me, which I'm sometimes a little overly aware of.
Oh, sure.
But it doesn't. But I don't think it's bad because I think it blends right in with everything else that's going on in there.
Maybe a little hint of like vanilla or licorice or something like that. Like
a touch,
sarsaparilla kind of something like that. Yeah, a little bit of that in there. All right. Well, I've waited long enough.
You have.
Taste time.
Has your prophecy from a couple minutes ago come true?
I think, if you were watching us live on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages, I did mention my thoughts on this beer possibly were that the Imperial Stout and the barrel aging might get in the way of anything pumpkin in this beer, but that I thought I would still like it. I think I'm actually surprisingly getting more spices out of this than I thought. There's definitely, the spices I think are coming through. I'm getting, like I said, I'm definitely getting the barrel aging. There's definitely a nice whiskey component to it. It's fairly smooth. I thought it might be a little heavier in flavor, which it's not. It's almost like a little too easally drinkable in a way.
Right.
Because I believe this beer is like in the 10.5% range, like somewhere in there.
Okay.
I actually think it's very good. It's very well balanced. So there's none of these flavors really spike up.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of complexity in that balance. But yeah, I think that is very good.
I might pick it out as a pumpkin beer if you just poured it to me and didn't tell me what it was. I might come up with that. I get that the barrel finish. I get the barrel on the finish, but it's good. It balances in very well with what's going on in there.
Yeah, I get that. Like I said, I definitely get some spices also in the finish. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know if you handed me this completely blind, I'd be like, oh, that must be a pumpkin stout, like, or something. Right. I definitely would pick up on those spices. They're obvious enough, but I don't know, since there's all those other heavier flavor components, if you can pick them up as specifically being pumpkin spices. So I might say like it's a spiced stout, or that there's, maybe there's some like extra, certain, like they added something to it to kind of add that to the finish.
There's a little chocolate.
I definitely think there's a little chocolate in it. I had, like I said, in the aroma, I'd gotten more dark chocolate, and here I get more like semi-sweet. Like it's a little more balanced.
Yeah, a little lighter. Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely a little lighter. It's not milk chocolate for sure, but that's definitely in there. And yeah, I think it is actually very good. It's very good. I think it's a nice treat if you like this style of beer at all.
Right.
Because it is expensive. Again, like I said, I'm pretty sure it was around $11 or $12 for a 19-ounce can. You can get it on tap, depending on your local options. But like I said, cans are the only other way. Single big boy cans like this one. But yeah, I honestly think it is very good. I honestly would like it like if it was just a little heavier. I think it's almost a little. It's just a little thinner than I thought it was going to be.
I would like some more body from that.
Which I think then would help boost some of the other things. Because if you're really using, like I said, pumpkin in here, which they do talk about, they use pumpkin puree. Usually that helps to kind of boost the body a little bit.
Right.
And already when you're doing an Imperial Stout that's been barrel aged, you already should have some extra body. So this should be like a lot of body to it. Yeah.
Thicker, heavier.
It's just not quite as thick. So I don't know. Maybe they tried to compensate for that because they didn't want it to be as heavy. But at least in my head, that's the way I thought it was going to be. So that was the biggest kind of surprise in a way.
Especially with all of those things going on with the alcohol that you get from an Imperial, with the price, with all that, I actually want to savor that. And it is, and I can savor it, but it would help me. It would just kind of automatically enhance that by, if there was a little more body, you'd sip it a little bit more, but it's not like it's something you're going to chug, but no, the more heft would definitely help in there.
I would completely.
But it's good though.
I would completely agree.
I like it.
And hopefully you will say that you like our website, AboutBeverages.com, where you can find all of our podcasts and all of our videos from the last 12 years that we have been doing this. Like I said, that has it all. If you only want the latest videos and get a little notification when those new videos are posted, you can subscribe to our YouTube page. We'd really appreciate that. That would be super, super nice. And if you only want audio, that is fine as well. Please go check whatever your favorite podcasting provider is, whether it's iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, whatever else. Just search for About Beverages and you will more than likely find us. Another place you can search for all of our stuff is on social media.
Social media.
Got three that we really like.
The three pillars. Of course. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Twitter is the one that we use the most often. We'll let you know when we're about to go live on most Thursday nights around 5:30 Pacific time when we record on twitch.tv /AboutBeverages. That's where when we record our podcast, we interact with our viewers and we talk about all kinds of stuff besides beverages and, of course, obviously the beverages themselves. Also, we use Twitter to let you know what we're doing throughout the week. This guy's going to let you know what games he's going to be playing, what raids are happening,
this is true.
Just everything that's going to be going on, the new previews, the builds, all the stuff that's going on. He'll keep you up to date.
You're putting a lot of pressure on me right now.
Well, he does. He keeps you up to date, and he'll let you know what's going on. So that's where you can find the most current information on what's happening with us.
But as we always say, whether we like it or not,
you should give it a shot.